Vanessa filming for Carolyn's Musings on YouTube and Etsy and One Way Journals on Facebook. So what we've got for you today is we're going to do a tutorial on how to make a 6x6 inch reinforced box that can be used for Christmas, but it can also be used all year round. So stick to the end of the video because I've got 8 different versions to show you with lots of different digitals, but you don't have to use digitals. You could use scrapbooking paper, anything that you've got to decorate them. So I've got lots of different ideas, and then I'm going to show you how you can alter the size of this box as well. In the last video we made Carolyn's beautiful kit. She's released since making the last video, which was a salvation folio with this Christmas, these colors that are in here. She's actually released a whole range of kits in the Christmas garden range, which has got the soft sort of pinky reds and greens. So there's fussy cuts and ephemera and digital papers and a journal kit, and a writing kit as well, I think. So check that out. We'll put those in the description box, so just click that for anything that we've mentioned in this video. Anyway, so this is the one that you got a little sneak peek. If you didn't see the last video, we'll put that in the description box as well, because at the end of the video I showed a sneak peek of this one. So isn't it cute? I've just added a bit of glitter glue there and a little bird on top. This one's got a tie closure. And then you can open up this one. I haven't decorated as much, but you will see how you can fully decorate that. And then this one has the little folio in it that I made in the last video, so salvation folio. So there were a couple of versions of those. And then I also, a good idea to pop in here was I had some Bible highlighters and some Bible tab, like books of the Bible tabs in there. So that was that. And then I made a little bookmark that's got the glitter and the 3D effects on that as well. And so I just typed that up on my computer and popped that in there. So anyway, this is what it was based off, this first box. And you can fill it, these boxes. This is a great little size to put. You could put chocolates in there. You could put, if you're giving this to somebody who loves paper craft, you could put a whole bunch of gift tags in there, or Christmas cards or birthday cards. Give them a box full of lots of ephemera or greeting cards, things like that. That would be really lovely. So gifts like, you could put makeup in there, you could put a scarf. I'm trying to think of the things that you could put in here, but I'm sure if you could think of some great things that would fit in a 6x6, can you comment down below? Because I'm sure people would love to hear what your ideas of what you could use your boxes for. And if you make them and you're in the Facebook group, can you share your pictures over there? We would love to see what you create and what digitals you use to make your boxes as well. So without any further delay, let's get straight into how we assemble this box. So the first thing we need to do is score our 12x12. So if you've got a big scoring board, you might want to use that. I've just got my cutting mat, so I'm just going to line that up on the left because I find it easier to score on the right. So I've got that there, and what we want to do is score at 1.5 inches and then 3 inches on all 4 sides. So sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, got to make sure I've got that right. Okay, so use your scoring tool. You might have a stylus like mine. Oops, there we go. Or you can use a bone folder. Okay, so score in at that's 10.5 and then at 9. Okay, why that's not sitting flat. There we go. Okay, and then we just want to move it around and line it up again on the left. There we go. And scoring again at 10.5 and 9. So if you prefer to score on the left, you would be scoring at 1.5 and 3. Okay, so I'm just going to do that on all 4 sides. I'll just speed that up. Okay, so now that I've done that, it's easier to cut when we can see the fold. So we're just going to go ahead and let's fold all these creases and just try and flatten that with your bone folder. Oops. Okay, so I am just going to speed through this for you. So now that we've got that folded, you can see the center is the 6 by 6 inch square. So what we've got is we've got 4 squares on each corner. And what we want to do is we want to cut up both of these up to the second line. So there's 1 and then there's 2. Okay. Okay, so straight up 1 and straight up 2 to the second line. Then we're going to turn it around and we're going to cut that just to the first line. Okay, let's go a bit further up there. Let's pull that out. And then we want to cut along this one here so that we are just left with this one tab that is right here. Okay, so we are cutting out 1, 2, 3 squares. So let's have a look on this one again. We're cutting out 1, 2, 3. So we're going straight up here. And then straight up this second one. And then across here to cut out these 2 there. And then across here to cut out this one. All right, let's do that again. And then our final one. Now, if you're making quite a lot of these, you're going to get more confident on when you start cutting this. You could actually cut out a couple of your little wedges as you go, but that's okay. We're going to do it now. So you're going to find it a lot easier to put this in and to reduce the bulk in the corners is to cut just like little wedges on your tab. So just across there. Now, of course, you can do that while you're cutting the bit before, but if you're not so confident with that, just do it afterwards. Oops. So let's do that. Okay, and what we also want to do is we want to cut away. Now, if you've gone straight on the line, you want to just cut here and make sure it's not so much a wedge, it's just cutting it so that you're getting rid of any of that crease line that you might have left. Whoops, don't cut that. It's just going to be easier to fold it down. Now just make sure when you're cutting this little bit, you don't go straight up there and cutting off that little tab. Okay, so what we want to do is glue the tab and glue it to the side. Don't go too close to the edge because you don't want it to seep out. But you could use tape and some glue stick over the top just to help to get it into place. Now just make sure that you perfectly get it lined up because that's going to give you a really neat base of your box. Okay, so just hold that. Art glitter glue is good because it dries pretty quickly and you just need to hold it for a couple of seconds. And then we can do the next one. Okay, once again get that lined up and hold it. You might actually want to get your bone folder and just make sure that it's glued down really well and it's going to stay put. Let's go do that on that one. Okay, so now we have the third one. Okay, and then we've got the fourth one. Now we want to fold the sides in, because this is what's reinforcing the bottom of the side, well, the sides of the box. And so we just want that to go there. Just make sure those folds are nice and crisp. Whoops. And so we want to just glue the top here. Once again, not too close to the edge because you don't want it seeping out everywhere. Let's fold that in and press that down. Okay, I will just speed through this. Okay, now if you find if your corners are catching at all, just cut those wedges just a little bit more, but that seems to be fine. Make sure you've got enough glue in the corners so that that glues down really well. Okay, so that's our box base. Yay! All right, so next to our next two pieces we need, so we've got two pieces that are cut here. Both of them are 6.5 inches that way, and then length we have one that is 9 1/8 of an inch, so 9 1/8 of an inch by 6.5, and then this one is what's this one? This was 8 5/8 of an inch, 8 5/8 of an inch, and then 6.5 inches that way. Okay, so the top is the smaller one, so we're going to put that down. This is the base. Now, what we need to do is score. We need to score at, sorry, I've got this written down. So we score at 1 5/8 and then 7 5/8. So when we score at both of those points, what we're doing is one on the left, one on the right, and we're allowing 6 inches in the middle. And the reason we're allowing 6 inches in the middle is because that's the bottom of our base. But you can imagine that if you've got 6 here and this bit folds over to reinforce it, it is not going to fold over because, you know, if it's the same size, it needs room to bend around the edges. So this is a bit of a trick. So what we want to do is we need to make it 1/16 of an inch larger. So we're expanding that middle section from 6 inches to 6 1/16. Now that's pretty difficult to measure, but what you do is if you've got your scoreboard, what you want to do is just move it slightly to the right, and then what you'll be left with is a little bit here where you can see there's the white on your scoreboard. Okay, now on the first box I made, I just did it on my cutting mat. So what we want to do here is we want to score at 1 5/8. See, there we go. Okay. And then we want to push it back to the left, okay, and now we want to score at 7 5/8. And that's why I don't really tend to use this very much, because it's not big enough that way and it's not wide enough that way. So we're going to go back to my cutting mat and we're going to line this up and score at 7 5/8. All right. Okay, let's fold that over. Stir a nice crease on both of those. There we go. And now you'll be able to see that that sits in on the bottom of the box. Okay. Now, you can see that the box base is 6 inches, but we cut this piece 6.5. And so what we're allowing is 1/4 on either side. And that's so that when we put the lid on at the same 6.5, it doesn't dip in here. It actually is a little bit wider than the base. It will make sense when we put it all together. Okay, so that's the base there, and you can see that fits around perfectly, just sits there snugly. All right, so let's get our next piece. This is the shorter piece. Oh, and I'm just going to grab this again. We're going to do exactly the same thing and score at 1 5/8, but we're just going to pull it out about 1/16 of an inch, just a little bit from the left. We're moving it to the right, and then we want to score at 1 5/8. So there's that one. And then the second line we want to score exactly the same. Line it up on the left. So if you're on your scoreboard, push it back to the left. There we go. And we want to score at 7 5/8. Okay, let's fold that and burnish it. Okay, so let's grab this back again, and this is going to be glued on the back there. There we go. Oops. So that's going to be glued like that, and then you'll notice that this one here is shorter, okay, and that's the front of the box. Now, the reason why this is shorter is because we need to put a hole in here and a hole in here to do our tie closure. If you're doing a magnet, there is still room to do a magnet there and there. But if you wanted to, you could make this piece a little bit longer, and you could extend that piece out and it come down further if you wanted to when you're going to do the magnets. But we'll go through that with another box in a minute. So because this is the bit that's the front of the box, you don't have to, but I'm going to just round the corners at the front, so that front flap. You don't have to do that. If you wanted to, you could leave it straight, and you could put the little metal corners. Do I have one here? You know, so the book corners that we normally have for our journals, if you wanted to, you could put that on the corner if you wanted to instead. I'm just going to round the corners. Okay. Right. Now, last time what I did was I glued this down first, and then I sort of found it a little bit difficult to get here to punch the hole. So I'm going to do that first before I glue it down. So if this is 6 1/2, do I have a pencil here? So if it's 6 1/2, it's 3 1/4 is going to be our middle spot. So actually, I'll probably do it on the front. Sorry. Okay, so I've got the middle point, and I just want to check that when I put this down, when I put the hole and the circle there, is it going to be low enough? So I've just cut out some little circles here. I actually think that needs to come down a bit further. Okay, so about there. So let me measure that for you. That dot is going to come down 1 1/4 inches. Okay, so 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. We don't want it too low because we need to have our little round disc that's going to go there. Okay, actually it's probably going to go in between those 2 points. All right, so with this, now I have a little tiny punch. This one is 1.5 centimeters, so it's 5/8 of an inch. Isn't that cute? It's a tiny little punch. So I've cut out 2 little rings like this. Don't worry if you don't have one of them, and then I've just sort of punched a hole in the middle. If you don't have one of those, you can just use your reinforcers, you know, your paper ones like that. These ones are clear, so you can put that on. I did on the first box I did do an eyelet, and I got it on the top bit, but I wasn't able to get the eyelet down further this way. So let me show you. If you've got this tool, it doesn't go down quite far enough. It's really close, but it's not quite far enough. But you might have the bigger crocodile, the longer one, that might be able to extend. But what I do have is one of these punches that punches holes, one of these, and so I'm just gonna punch a hole. But if you don't have one, don't worry, just use your it's not cutting that very well. You can just use, that's actually not cut out that clearly, so you could just use your pokey tool like your awl and just poke a hole, and don't worry about it. Once you got the ribbon through, you're not really going to be able to see much of that hole anyway, because the ribbon is going to come through. All right, so I'm just going to glue this down. Oh wow, I put way too much glue. Yuck. Okay, I need to let that dry. And then here I need to measure again. So I want it at 3 1/4. Okay, and if I do that there, that'll be good. So I'm just going to punch a hole. Let's try not and put as much glue on this one. And I'm going to put that there. Okay, so that's just enforced that. Now, I've just done it because I find it easier to do that first. What a mess I made of that one. All right, so make sure I've got this towards the front. Now we need to put this on. So we need to glue, now this piece is wider than the box base. So you are going to want to glue the base, not this piece, because you'll get glue on the sides. All right, so let's glue down this so that we're allowing 1/4 of an inch on either side, like 1/4 inch here and 1/4 inch here. Okay, so let's get that in. Just make sure that we're firmly gluing that down. Okay, not the front bit, but this back bit, we now want to glue this down. And once again, we're going to be gluing it onto the box base because that's smaller. We don't want the glue to run over. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Stick that down. Okay, if you find that this bit is too tall, you can just cut off a strip, you know, just get your scissors and just neaten that up if it's overlapping. I think, gosh, it's only minutely. You're not going to see that, so don't worry if you're a little bit wonky, but just cutting that down. Okay, there we go. So there's that. Now we've got the lid and we want to put that on. Just make sure before we glue that that is even. Yep, that's good. I can go ahead with that. All right, so these two are the same size, so I can actually glue on this now. Make sure you've got not the whole punch side, but the back bit, and measure that up and glue that down. Okay. Make sure that, you know, when you're gluing it down, that everything is fitting nicely and it's all squared up properly. So what have we got? On the top here, I've made a topper for the box. Right, so the measurements. Now, you don't have to do an extra matting like I've done. I've done, you know, you've got your digital paper, and then I've, just to make the box even sturdier again, I put this onto some gold card. So if you want to do like I have here, you'll see that this one is not as close to the border, so it's your preference. You might want it as close to the border as I've got on this one you don't. If you want this side, so it's just a little bit of the green on the edge, the measurement of this gold piece is 6 3/8 of an inch by 5 7/8 of an inch. That's the gold part. Okay, if you wanted a little bit smaller, you could do it 6 1/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, then the pattern paper, I have made it 6 1/8 by 5 3/8. But if you want to make it a little bit smaller again, you could make it 6 by 5 1/2. I hope that makes sense. But you just do your measurements on what you want as your topper. Okay, so that's what I've used. And then, so this is beautiful paper from the Brostrom Cozy Winter Journal Kit. So this is the beautiful paper, backing paper. There's two of them. There's this beautiful check, and then there's this. I absolutely love it. And then one of the journal pages, I actually just cut down that image and I've mounted it on some gold card and then mounted it with mounting tape. So you'll see that that's lifted up like a 3D effect, and then I just isolated the little bird and did the same thing, mounted him on there. Okay, so we can glue this on the top. Now what you might want to do is you might want to, you know, put your digital, and instead of an image like this, you might want to put a sentiment like Merry Christmas or Season Greetings or whatever you want, you know. If you did a magnetic closure, you could just use the digital and then do a big bow on the front. Oh, there was another one. This was, this is from the Brostrom Cozy Winter Journal Kit as well. And I haven't cut this one down. I might make this into a card, like a long DL size card. But that was another cute image which had the bow on it. And so I've just done that with some mounting tape as well. So I think I'm going to do that as a card. But yeah, there's lots of beautiful images you can put on the front. Okay, so that one's there. And then the box here, we've got a piece. And so is this the piece I was going to put in? Yes. All right, so the base of the box is 6 by 6. So I just cut a piece that was 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And is there a right way up or not? It doesn't really matter. And so I'm just going to glue that down to the bottom. Okay. All right, let's burnish that down. But you don't have to do a digital if you want to. I've got a matching digital here, but you actually might want to type up a message or handwrite a message, and you can glue that to the bottom of the box. That actually could be really lovely. That would be really nice. Okay, there we go. And then if you want to, you don't have to, but you can put digitals on here. So I've cut this because I wanted to show you these papers. So I've cut this. Now this is the same size as what I did on the top here. So it's the same size as the gold piece. You can cut this to whatever size you want, but I've done it just slightly smaller. There we go. So let's glue that. You don't have to, but I've actually cut a piece to put on the bottom. And so that's the same size, and I'm just going to glue that one down too. And that layer is just giving it a little bit more sturdiness, but honestly, you don't have to if you don't want to. You don't really need to. Okay, look, we're nearly done. Okay, so now I want to put in my ribbon. Now, if you do about 13 inches, I think that's a good size. Okay, and so I'm just going to fold that so I can poke it through the hole. Through there. Okay, so this is going to be a nice big wide bow. But yeah, if you don't worry if you don't have that, you can use something else, like the gold would be fine. And I'm just trying to spread that back out again because I want to glue that flat. Okay, and if I pull it through a bit more, let's try and cut some of those scrubbly bits away. And I want to try and get that to lay down as flat as I possibly can, but not try and move it so it's not at the crease line. All right, because we're going to hide this. Okay, Fabri-Tac, if you've got Fabri-Tac, that might be a little bit better. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that. Now I have cut a strip, so this flap here is 1 inch. So I've already cut a green strip here that is 6.5 that way and 1 inch that way. I think I cut it just a slither shorter than 1 inch, and then I've rounded the corners to match the corners here, and that's going to glue over the top, and it's going to hold down that ribbon but also hide it. All right, so that's mostly done. All right, so let's get the glue down. Let's move that around to this one, and we want to do the same thing. I'm going to cut 13 inches. Let's see if I've got the right size. I might want to do, you know, like the V finish. Let's see how much it's going to fray. And then that's going to go in here. So I'm just going to poke through here again because I made a bit of a mess with that glue, didn't I? And then we're going to try and shove this in through here. Just going to cut that down a bit. Oh, it's making a nice mess. Let's check that's okay there. All right, let's glue this down. We've got that glued down, so what we want to do again is glue this base bit, not this bit because it's wider. So let's glue here. We've got that done. Now I don't know if I'll add any more digitals because I have got offcuts, because I cut when I cut the digital, I cut like an A4 sheet or US letter size sheet, so I do have offcuts. And so if you wanted to, yeah, most definitely you could put it on the front here of the box, you could put it on the side. You could put it here, the digital, and then you could put it here, but I would do that before you put this bit down, before you put the ribbon in. So I think I'm probably just going to leave it. Before I get on to the next thing, actually, I just wanted to quickly insert this. I haven't printed out all the pages of the Cozy Winter Kit, but it's absolutely stunning. It's lovely. But I did print out the 2 pages of fussy cuts because these would just be beautiful for any of your craft projects over Christmas. Aren't they stunning? Love them. And these sweet little birds. Here we go. So there's quite a variety there. So these could look beautiful. Oh, look at this Christmas doily. I love that. Yeah, so there's so many there. So these could be toppers on your cards, on your boxes, gift boxes, your you could make them into tags. Actually, these would be really sweet as little fussy cuts, and then put them on some gift tags for Christmas as well. So just wanted to quickly show you those. Okay, now to get on to the box with the magnetic closure. I've completed this box, and so when we put the magnets on, you can put the whole box together. And so this one, you know, I don't normally use a lot of glitter, but Christmas and the festive season is perfect for glitter. So I've added some there, and so I've just mounted it. This is a black base, mounted it with some gold and foil card, and then put this digital on the top. So this paper, Carolyn had released a little mini Christmas book. It was so cute. I made one and gave it as a gift to somebody in Australia that was in part of a swap. So that was her Christmas present. So I don't have it anymore, but it was a little little mini journal within a box. So it was mega cute. So the digital from that, the backing paper from that was this one here as well as this here. And there is another print, and I've got it on another box, which I'll show you in a minute. And then one of the little mini pages, I actually blew up the image a bit so that I could have that on the front. So there we go. And then I've just put a digital here, and then this image I've just glued on two sides there to create a little pocket, so I can put a gift card in there, and then just put this one on the same on the bottom. This one I didn't do anything on the bottom. Okay, so you can put the whole thing together, the lid, the base, everything, when you're using the magnets. Now I did make one where I put one in the center, and it's okay, but the sides sort of bow out a little bit, so I'm actually thinking it's better with two, so one on either end. So what we do is grab our magnet and put it here, one on either side. Okay, so we've got one. So that's just, I've got to do it like that or it's going to slip. And then one here. There we go. They're going to be hidden, so they don't have to be perfect, just I'm eyeballing that. Okay, now I have to leave it up this way because I don't want the glue in for it to slip down, and basically it's going to hide in underneath here. So we can glue this. It's probably better to let it dry for a little bit, but hopefully it'll be okay if I just glue it straight down. And if you want to, you can put maybe a digital over the top. I'm probably just going to leave this one black. I'll show you in other ones where I have decorated it. So let's just have a look there. That's not bowing out. It looks like it's stuck down really well. Okay, so once we've done that, then we get our other magnets and we want to make sure that they stick the right way. There we go. And then the trick is if you put some glue on the top like that, and then press the lid down, make sure that's even and lined up, and then, whoops, see that slipped, so we want it to go there. Press that down, and that's going to give me the glue spot here. So I'm going to add some more. And then I know this has got glue on it, a little bit messy, but then I know exactly where to put that. So then I'm going to slide off this one, turn it over and put that there. Okay. And then what I've done is I've cut a strip, so it's just 6.5 inches that way, so it's the same length as the lid there. And then I've rounded the corners, and is this 1.5? Sorry, just let me check. Yeah, that's 1.5 there, so I just made it 1 3/8, I think it is, just because I don't want it to go right up to the fold, the bend. So what I've done is just cut a piece, so that's sliding a little bit there, and I just want to glue that down so that I can cover that. All right, so I'll do that now. Okay, and then that should just click, and it does. There we go. So that's how simple it is to do the magnetic closure and to hide it. And I've just put a digital on the top of that one there. So let's have a look at the ribbon closure boxes. So don't need to talk about this one much because I've shown you that one at the beginning of the video. So that's in the lighter colors, colored cardstock. This one is the one that we assembled, and look, it's got that beautiful bow there. My hint is try and get your your hole as close as you can to the top, even with your reinforcement, because your bow will just sit a little bit higher. So what I've done since doing this one is added the glitter on there with the snow that's on the front. And then let's open this one up. And then what I did was the Brostrom Cozy Winter kit. Oh, I just love it. I've added ephemera. So there's ephemera in the kit, so there's a double pocket there, and then that's just a little doily that was in there. And then I used some of the tags and stuck the little bird on there with an eyelet and ribbon and glitter with the snow. So it's a double pocket. And then this was one of the other tags, glitter as well for the snow. And then that's one of the backing papers in this kit. And then this was one of the other tags. And so, yeah, you can put, you know, like a garment pin and then some charms on that one as well. So that's beautiful. So there's the double pocket there. And then the fussy cut, I just stuck one there. And then this is one of the other pieces that I actually made a bit smaller so it would fit in the box, and just made it into a bookmark. So there we go, that can go into there. So this would be a great box to fill with lots of Christmas tags or cards, and you could give that to somebody as a gift, or you could keep it yourself to store your own tags and things. Don't forget the back if you want to decorate. I put a digital there, and then that's just my little business there with one of the fussy cuts as well. So there's that one. And then this is another one that I have made, and this one is using, so this Christmas box with the is a Christmas mini journal with a box. We'll put that in the description box as well. This one, I've just popped that one there, and I've just backed it around in some gold there. So that's the magnetic closure in that one. And then in this pocket here, I just put like a little wooden, it's Hope. I've got a couple of these, so that can go in there as a gift. You could put it in here with your gifts, and that's the magnetic closure. And so with that that mini journal with a box, little box to fit the mini journal, this backing paper was in this one as well. I mentioned that I was going to show you one. So I've made this box in red. I've kept it pretty simple. Just did the tie closure there, and so let me just open that up. Oops. There we go. And so I love this backing paper there of the poinsettias. And then I've just made with an offcut a simple pocket, so you could put a card, whatever you're going to give to somebody, you could put a pocket there and then put your greeting card in there, and it can be all in one. And then it's got glitter from the ribbon there. This was one of the faded backing papers, and so I thought that would be good sitting in there. So there we go, that's that one. And then this this one here is James 1:17, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above. This is a topper in the gingerbread gift card box set, so that's where I got that one there. Okay, so then I came up with some other ideas. So this one, I made a white box. When I open it up, you'll see that it's white. And I was like, what am I going to do with this one? So what I've done is I've used from one of the gingerbread sets, it's the collage paper, and I've literally just gone around the whole outside and wrapped it in the collage, the paper on this one. I really love how it turned out. And I've just cut out some of the elements here and lifted them up on some mounting tape. So you've got that cookie there, the gingerbread, and another cookie there that are raised up. I was going to put Velcro on this one to show you with Velcro, and then I was like, you know what? I cut out this here, glued down the bottom half, and used it as a tuck. So if you don't have magnets and you don't have a lot of variety of ribbons and things and don't want to do that, this is a quick, simple way to close the box, because it just slips in there. So this was the last one I made, and that's what I came up with. So when you open up this one, I just kept it white inside. That's the gingerbread backing paper from that set as well. I just cut her out from the collage paper and put her there. I've just included that here because, you know, you could put an offcut there and create a pocket and put a gift card or something in there, depending what you're using the box for. So there we go. So I also, in the gingerbread theme, I thought, what about if you were into baking and you did lots of baking for Christmas? So I've used the craft coloured box for the base on this one, and I cut a window out. And so I just used this paper here, cut out the square first before I glued the lid on. It's easier to do it that way. And then I laid my piece over, turned it around, drew, you know, a square on that, cut it out with a cutting knife and did both sides. So there we go. Just tied it with some twine closure, because that fits in really well with this whole theme and would be great, quick and easy if you're doing some baking. And then you could see your cookies or whatever you're putting inside there. I've just put the little journal, that's a gingerbread journal, a little one that fits there. And then this was from the gingerbread gift card box set that I had quite a few of these left over, so that could be really cute. There's the gingerbread sort of loaf, I don't know, pattern that's there, and then I thought you could always put that on the bottom. I might go ahead and glue that down, so if you can see that, that could be through the window. And then, you know, your baked goods, obviously you'd wrap them first before you put them in here. So anyway, that's an idea for that one. So they're all the 6x6 boxes that I made. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to adjust it. So this one, I've made a box. This is for one of my very best girlfriends, and her birthday is coming up, but I might get her something else for her birthday, but do this as her Christmas present. So this is Meat at the Manger. This is the Advent book that Carolyn has designed, and I made it a couple of videos ago. So here we go. I've just tied it. So after I made the first box, this was the second one that I made, and I did do a magnetic closure, and I did one that was here, and that's when I decided, you know, it was bowing up here. So that's when I thought, oh, any others that I'll make, I'll put 2 magnets down the ends instead. But I'm really happy the way this turned out. So this, I've covered the edges and the flap here with lace, and then put the digital over the top. And obviously I've used the front of the little booklet, and so I've just gone all the way to the edge with the digitals. And this one, I know it's called the Panda Paper Kit. It's not got pandas on it, but it is the papers that went along with the Panda gift card box set. So that's why Carolyn has named it that. We'll put it in the description box. But gosh, I loved it. It's got so many blues and the creams in it. And so that's what I've done there. So this box is, I've actually pretty much covered all of it with digitals. So if you see, this is the Advent, and so there's lace on there. That's why I put lace around the cover. So there's the Advent. Isn't that beautiful? And then I've just, because I made it, this is 8x8, I put some stick candles next to it there, and then you'll see here I've put digitals, and I've just lined everything with digitals on there. So this was a craft colored base, and then I've covered it. So you'll see here everything is covered. I need to put something on the back here, but this is this one. Now, just wanted to explain, if you adjust the size and you make it wider, so it means the scores around the 12x12, I reduce them. So instead of being 1.5 and then 3 inches on each side, I did, what did I do? Did I do 1 and 1? So I did 1 inch, 1 inch on each side. So if you've got 2 inches on this side, 2 inches on that side, that reduces this down to 8 inches for your box. Okay, but keep in mind, if you're making it bigger, reducing it to 1, it's going to make it shallow. So you'll see that this one is a little bit deeper and this one is shallow. So it was a perfect box if you make a very thin journal, you wanted to put that inside, or this Advent one, it's perfect and it sits flat in here. So this one worked out really well. Okay, so there's that one, and I've just decided I want to do some gift ribbon on that one. And then the very last one I want to show you, this is a sneak peek at my next project. And so I'm making a little golden book, and I'm doing it in a Christmas theme golden book. And so here we go, here's a sneak peek. So this one I have adjusted. I can't tell you the measurements because I can't remember, and I was fiddling and playing around with it. But obviously it's not a square by square. I wanted it to be more this way. So I got my 12 by 12 sheet, and I sort of popped my book in the center, how much I wanted it, and then tried to work out what my margins needed to be around the edges and worked from there. So this one is, I just 3D'd and put some glitter on there for the cross. This kit is beautiful. This is what I flushed out, the little golden book. I've used a kit to go along with that, and it's the Birth of Jesus journal kit. If you like the papers in there, it is in a normal journal size. However, Carolyn created a different size for me, which I believe she will be putting up on either Etsy or her Ko-fi site, I'm not sure, which is a bigger size printable for the little golden book. Anyway, so this one I've used a mixture of craft. So don't worry if you don't have enough 12 by 12s. If you can coordinate your papers, I actually used craft for the base of the box, but then I used this sort of golden cream on the top for the base and the top to wrap around. There's a digital, and then here we go. I've just put some lace and I've put the word Emmanuel there. I'm sure this label is from the Cozy Winter Kit. Sorry, I've got a coughing fit, so my voice keeps going in and out. So this one has got the double magnet closure on it. And then we're just going to open it up. And so here, oops, I've just put those in there. So I haven't finished this yet. I have put it together, but you can see I've still got all my ephemera and things that I need to keep doing on this journal. So it's the next project. And so here's my little altered golden book, and so that fits in perfectly here. And what I've done is some of the pages have got some beautiful old hymns. So "O Come Ye Faithful," "O Little Town of Bethlehem," and then "O Holy Night." So look, I know there's lots of kits that I've mentioned there, but I'm just trying to encourage you that with these boxes you can use what you've got, and don't forget some of the kits that you might already have, whether they be Christmas or something else. You can adjust them and then decorate and make your own gift boxes. How beautiful is that? And I'm sure anybody who receives them will just treasure how much effort and time you put into it. Now I might get some questions on what this one measured. So this one is 7.5 inches that way, and it is it's just under 8.25 inches that way. So what I did was I got my 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, put this in the middle, and decided how much do I want, how big do I want it. So I knew that it was going to be pretty tight that way, and I wanted to leave a little bit on either side because I had the ring here that's going to have a tassel, and then here it's probably going to have some lace and things. So once I worked that, that's just about 8.25 that way. How much room did I have on the left and the right to make my corners, to make my sides? So I don't have exact measurements, I'm sorry. This is, I'm not going to do that because it's best for you to decide what project you've got and how you want to, and I'm showing you how you can adjust it to your specific project. So that would have left me just under 2 inches on either side, and I'm pretty sure, let me just see the side. The side is 1 3/8. So my sides were 1 3/8, and then the little bit strip on the side, that didn't leave me very much. I think it left me about 1/2 inch. So I just wanted to show you the little, on the very edge, 1/2 inch, I folded that over, and so obviously the side is there, which is 1 3/8 of an inch, and then the leftover, which was about 1/2 inch or 1/4 of an inch, I folded over, but it is only that much, so it's not making the sides that sturdy. So then what I did was I then cut strips of brown card, and I've popped that in. That's why this one is fully designed with digitals, and I've popped that on either side, and that, no, I haven't. I've just done it on the inside, and that's just enforced that because I don't have a full piece that goes all the way down to the bottom. I only had a little bit of a room to fold it over. I hope that is making sense. And then it would have been the same sort of situation on this side as well. So just enforce it with a bit of card. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that's the way that you can adjust your box sizes. So there we go. That's a sneak peek on what the next project, the next video is. So we'll leave it there. But yeah, please, if you make a box and use any of your digitals, whether it's Christmas or anything else, you might even want to do one for Thanksgiving, head over to Facebook and pop your pictures over there. We would love to see them. That would be great if you could head over there. So God bless for the rest of your week or weekend whenever you get to see this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.